All right, let's talk about something I think we've all done. It's this weird mental trick we play on ourselves. The procrastinator's noble excuse. You know, that bizarre habit of doing something that feels super productive right when we should be doing something that's actually important. I mean, you know the feeling, right? You've got this massive project staring you in the face, a huge deadline is looming, and then, out of absolutely nowhere, you're hit with this overwhelming need to finally alphabetize your spice rack. It feels productive, but really, is it?
And this is the battle that's raging inside our heads. On one side, you've got the real work, the big stuff, the 20-page report, your taxes, studying for a final. And on the other side, the urgent distraction, things that feel good and useful, like organizing the garage or deep cleaning the kitchen. They seem like good things to do, but the timing is, well, it's a little suspicious, isn't it?
Now, it's really easy to just chalk this up to laziness, to just say, I'm just avoiding work. But what if I told you it's not that simple? What if your brain is actually playing a much more sophisticated game with you?
Because, yeah, the truth is, this has nothing to do with being lazy, so let's just get that idea right off the table. Something else is going on here.
What's really happening is, well, it's a calculated strategy. Your brain, in this incredibly clever bit of self-deception, is running a play. It's a trick that's actually designed to protect you, but in the end, it winds up sabotaging your most important goals.
And this little trick, it has a name. It's called a virtuous escape. This is the whole idea right here. It's the act of inventing some noble-sounding reason, a productive, moral obligation, just to justify putting off the hard stuff. It is, basically, procrastination in a superhero cape. And, of course, scientists have a term for these made-up tasks. They call them pseudo-moral obligations. And pseudo, just means false or fake. So that sudden, desperate need to help a friend move a couch, it's not a real moral duty right now. It's a fake one. Your brain just cooked up so you could feel good about yourself.
And look, this isn't just some pop psychology idea. There's real research on this from places like Carnegie Mellon University. They've actually studied this exact phenomenon, and they found that, yeah, people literally create these false responsibilities specifically to get out of doing difficult work.
So here's how the cycle works. It's brilliant, really. First, you're faced with a hard task. Your brain hates this. Second, it invents a noble distraction, a way out. Third, you jump on that easier task and get it done. And then fourth, and this is the genius part, you get this little hit of moral satisfaction, which completely wipes out any guilt you might have felt. It's the perfect crime. Procrastination with zero guilt. An expert named Timothy Bishel has this perfect phrase for it. He calls it meaning-disguised procrastination. Think about that. The task you choose isn't random. It's specifically picked because it feels meaningful. That feeling of meaning is the disguise that hides the fact that you are, well, still just procrastinating.
Okay, so we get what it is. We have a name for it. But why? Why do our brains go to all this trouble to trick us? The answer, when you boil it all down, is incredibly simple. It's all about stress. That big, important project is stressful, and your brain wants that feeling of stress to go away, like right now.
And this breaks it down perfectly. The real work, that's high effort, there's a real risk you might fail, and the reward is way off in the future. But that virtuous escape task, that's low effort, success is pretty much guaranteed, and you get an immediate hit of gratification. You see? For your brain, it is an absolute no-brainer which one to choose.
So, now that we understand the why, here comes the powerful part. How do you actually spot this happening in real time? How can you catch yourself in the act? Here's your checklist. Ask yourself these questions. Does this task feel like it came out of nowhere but is suddenly the most urgent thing in the world? Is it going to give you a quick, easy win? And most importantly, does it make you feel like a responsible, noble person while conveniently letting you avoid that 20-page report? If you're nodding along, you've probably just found your virtuous escape. And look, the point here isn't to beat yourself up about this. The goal isn't to just stop it cold turkey. The most powerful first step you can take is just to see it, to recognize the pattern for what it is. Because once you can name the trick, you can start to question it. That awareness, that's where you start to take back control. So I'll leave you with this question to think about. Now that you know its name, this clever, meaning-disguised procrastination, what's yours? What's your go-to virtuous escape? Is it finally cleaning out your inbox? Reorganizing a bookshelf? Maybe it's planning something, just like this. Something to think about.